I was involved with the West London Church's homeless concern when it first started, and I'm very proud of what it's achieved. It's a great charity, and this film will show you why.
The King's Road in Chelsea, famous for its luxury accommodation and expensive boutiques. It's another normal shopping day, but for some of the residents there's only one thing they want: help to sort out their lives.
The charity started in 1998 as a response to the number of rough sleepers that were sleeping on the streets of the King's Road.
The idea was to offer, first of all, emergency night shelter. The very first night, nobody actually turned up, but the word soon got around and people started coming, and volunteers also came.
The West London Church's homeless concern has grown over the years, now operating in 3 London boroughs. From November to April, 10 churches of different denominations provide the venues for the night shelter, a different church hall every night in rotation. They take in 35 people per night and are officially London's largest winter night shelter.
There are many reasons why people become homeless. Often it's to do with a relationship breakdown, ill health, financial problems, plus a run of bad luck. We meet people from all kinds of different backgrounds. We've had professional people, ex-servicemen, people who have fallen out of the mental health care system in some kind of way. And where all the normal support networks disappear, then people find themselves homeless.
Angela used to work with horses, but couldn't find employment after being injured in a riding accident. Then, when her mother died, she found herself with nowhere to live.
You can stay with friends for so long, but obviously, you know, they have their lives to lead. And so I've found myself, you know, having to think about rough sleeping. Friends on the street, they said, you must come and try out the night shelter. And I went there and I was just so overwhelmed by the kindness. It was fantastic. And I have to say that there's been many, many times when if I hadn't been able to come into the night shelter where I just don't know what I would have done. It's like a rock for so many of us.
There's a waiting list, but because rough sleepers tend to move on regularly, people rarely wait long before securing a place to sleep every night, for as long as they need one. And however many people come, no one is turned away without food.
Yeah, not too bad, Mark.
Doors open at 8 o'clock. The guests are greeted by the volunteers.
Hi, what's your name? Peter.
No questions are asked, just a name is required.
Our volunteers, as well as dealing with some of the practical sides of running the night shelter, they offer companionship and some form of friendship, which is missing so often from many of our guests' lives.
They're my boys. I have 2 boys of my own and a husband, and often I talk about the boys to my friends, and they always say to me, who are you talking about? And I'm actually talking quite often about my boys, meaning the homeless guests.
I think when our guests come into the night shelter, they're looking for a bit of respect. They're looking to be treated like any normal human being. When they come here, we as volunteers sit with them, talk with them, have a meal with them, just like we would any person, any member of our family or any friend.
The most heartwarming thing I think I've ever come across was a guy came back after 4 years, and he was so pleased that I was still here because he was so thrilled to be able to tell me, I've done that, I've been on the streets, I'm now not, and here I am to prove it, and thank you, he said.
Although the number of guests who are allowed to stay the night is restricted, in extreme cold conditions more are accommodated as long as it's safe. All year round, the West London Church's homeless concern also runs a social centre during the day, 3 times a week, providing food and friendship. There is a much appreciated laundry service.
When I went to see the careers advice officer, I never said to him, have you got a job where I can clean people's underpants for the rest of my life, I've got to admit. I'm a diplomat, policeman, psychotherapist, counsellor, bouncer. Fine career for a young man.
There are also shower facilities and a clothes store where guests can find something new to wear.
Hi, Mark.
Hi there, Melissa.
How are you doing?
Do you have any shoes there today?
These services are vital. It's only a matter of days without a wash or change of clothes before someone starts to feel uncomfortable and look dishevelled.
It's good to see you, Melissa.
I'll see you later.
Yes.
Also, since 2005, there's been a caseworker available to offer the guests support.
I can help people by filling out forms which some people aren't comfortable doing themselves because of literacy issues. I can take people to appointments and I can say specifically the things that I know that they're entitled to, whereas the guests themselves might not know the ins and outs of the laws and the policies.
Last year, Neil gave advice and assistance to nearly 200 guests, helping 32 people to find accommodation, 20 people to find a job or training opportunity, and many more to get access to essential medical treatment. And all are given ongoing support by the charity. Richard had been living rough for 36 years when he came to West London Churches. Thanks to the casework support he received, he's now living in his own home.
No way could I have done it without Neil. Neil was able to open the doors. He set up the appointments that we needed and he came along with me, and that gave me the confidence. For the first time in my life I've been able to trust somebody completely 100%. This is how this place has helped me. It's given me that starting point. It's somewhere where people know who I am, and it shows me that I'm a better person than I think I am sometimes.
All the people that cross our threshold come with particular problems and enormous difficulties that they face in their lives. And one of the things they lack is a sense of hope and self-worth. I believe that the work that all the volunteers do and the project managers and all of our venues is our way of giving those people hope for themselves, for their future.
I feel like the way people look at me on the streets, I'm not worth nothing. Yet when I come into West London Churches, I feel like a person.
In a way it's like a family that I've never had.
I feel that they help people to put their lives back together again.